What's up YouTubers, Mr. McRaven here, back again with another episode of Borderlands 2. Now in today's video I'm going to be expanding on the previous damage video I did with regards to how the damage system works in Borderlands 2. Now the reason I'm doing this video is because the viewer on the previous damage video I did left a very valid comment with regards to how the damage system works when it's applied to the player level versus the enemy level. Now the reason I think this is quite a valid point is because although when you play solo the enemies do tend to scale up with the player level quite closely, a lot of us like to play online random public or with friends, and sometimes the difference between your player level, your friends and the enemies can be quite significant. So hopefully the information that I'm going to give you in this video will help you to improve your gameplay and have somewhat of a better understanding of how the damage system works depending on the player of your level and the level of the enemy that you're fighting. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to take you through the different levels of player. I'm going to show you 3 different levels here in Marcus's shooting range. I'm going to show you real game damage on how it works, and then once I've shown you these little clips I'm going to put up a couple of tables and numbers and equations for you so that you can work out and understand roughly how the damage system is applied. Now I say it is roughly, this is from my findings and other information I know about the game, but hopefully you can take some of this with you and have roughly a better understanding of how the game works. So we're going to start in a moment with a level 27 character, and I'll be back in a moment with that. Okay folks, so before we begin I'm going to cover some of the aspects of how I'm going to play this through, and hopefully I'm going to keep it as simple and straightforward and easy to follow as possible. So I'm playing this through in normal mode, not true Vault Hunter mode or ultimate Vault Hunter mode, and that way any bonus statistics that are applied from the harder modes should be removed and everything's kept simple and straightforward. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through 3 different run-throughs, and we're going to start with a level 27 Siren versus a level 30 target, and then we're going to go through with a level 30 Siren versus a level 30 target, and then we're going to go through yet again with a level 33 character versus a level 30 target, and we're going to see the differences with regards to how the damage changes with regards to the player's level. Now if you haven't seen my previous video when it comes to damage, we're going to be looking at the base damage of the weapon, and that's the damage that the weapon causes without any additional bonus stats added. So you can see here that I'm using a normal shield without any amplification damage. The mod doesn't give me any extra percentages, and neither does the relic there, because that's a health relic. The skill tree itself is actually stripped, there's nothing in the skill tree, so no bonus stats there, and the badass rank has also been disabled, so the only thing that we're going to see is the weapons based damage itself. So we're going to use the Dastardly Unforgiven, one of the new pearlescents in the game, and you can see the base damage is 1408. There's no elemental effects with this weapon, it's just pure all out damage. So we can see that the damage is 1408, and when we go into the shooting range and we shoot the character in the stomach, we can see the actual damage caused is 1127. But if we look at the weapon's damage, we can see that it says 1408 is a level 27 weapon. I'm a level 27 character, and the damage should be 1408. But yet when we shoot him, we only get 1127. So as we can see quite clearly, when your character's level is less than the level of the enemy, the damage you actually cause is significantly less. So what we're going to do is going to stop now, and we're going to go to a level 30 character, one that is exactly the same as the enemy, and we're going to see how the statistics change with the same weapon. Okay folks, so we come back again, and this time you can see that I'm now at level 30 Siren, and I'm facing a target that is equal in level at level 30. And if we go and look at the weapon again, we can see with the Dastardly Unforgiven that the weapon damage has indeed increased to 2031. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the shooting range, and we're going to shoot him in the guts again. And you can see that the weapon's base damage is exactly as it states in here, 2031. So just to clarify, we shoot him in the gut, we can see that the damage stated is the damage actually caused. So you can see a difference there straight away between the level 27 Siren and the level 30. If you are equal to the level of the target you're shooting at, then you're going to be causing the exact amount of base damage that the weapon states. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the level 33 character and see what happens with the damage if you're above the enemy's level. Okay folks, so we're back for the last run, and you can see that I'm now a level 33 Siren versus a level 30 enemy. And before we take any shots, we'll take a look at the weapon's damage. We can see that the damage is 2,931. So when I shoot the enemy, you can now see that the damage caused is in fact 2,931, which is exactly the same as what the weapon states. So I'll be back in a sec again, and I'll explain exactly what has happened over the past 3 levels. Okay folks, so we've got the table up in front of us now, and we can see attacker level versus defender level, or player versus enemy, and on the right hand side the damage multiplier. If we look at the base level of 0 and the multiplier of 1, what this relates to is if you're the same level as the enemy, the damage you're going to inflict is going to be roughly a ratio of around 1 to 1. Now if you're 5 levels above the enemy, the damage is going to increase to 1.6, and if you're 5 levels below the enemy, then it's going to drop quite substantially to 0.1. Now you can always pause the video here and take a longer look at the difference between player and enemy if you wish to. So moving on, damage equals base damage at 1.13 level. Now what this means is every character within the game has a base damage that they inflict when they use their melee or their special ability. Now every time your character moves up a level in the game, this base damage is increased by roughly 0.13 per level, and as you can imagine, from level 1 to level 61 it's going to stack up quite substantially. So moving on, last but not least, we see the level difference, enemy level minus player level. If you're playing against an enemy that is significantly stronger than you, then you're going to be at a great disadvantage when it comes to inflicting damage, and the same could be said vice versa. The damage multiplier underneath is a short equation, and it's a simple one. If the enemy you're facing is 3 levels above you or less, the damage is going to be at a multiplication of 1, or if the enemy is 3 levels or greater than you, then the damage level is going to be 0.88. Now I hope this video has proved helpful and has increased your knowledge of how the damage system works, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, leave a comment, click like, but until then, take care and have fun.